Welcome back to the Velveteen Reader, where stories linger like velvet. Before we begin, let's take a moment to settle in. Find a comfortable place, release the tension from your shoulders, and with me, take a long, slow, deep breath in. Exhale gently. Letting the weight of the day fall away. Tonight's story is one you may remember from childhood, but here we read it differently. This is not just about a race. It is about life, about patience, and about the quiet strength of endurance. This is The Tortoise and the Hare. Part 1. Once upon a time, there was a hare that lived in a meadow. He was known to be a fast mover, and he wore his speed like a crown. He was quick, dazzling, and unstoppable, or so he believed. His strides cut through the meadow like streaks of lightning. Dust rose where he leapt, and grasses bent as he passed, and his laughter traveled even faster. And there was a tortoise that lived in that same meadow. She was not swift at all. She carefully carried her home on her back every day. Her movements were deliberate, measured, almost invisible. Yet within her was a patience deeper than stone and a faith that even the wind itself could not unseat. The hare often mocked her. "Do you ever get anywhere at all?" he jeered, his voice sharp as thorns. "Life is like a race, and you are dragging yourself through it. By the time you arrive, the world has already passed you by." The tortoise lifted her eyes, unshaken. Her voice was steady like a bell rung in the distance. "I arrive. Slowly, yes, but always and right on time. Every time. The race is not given to the swift, nor the battle to the strong. It belongs to the one who endures, step by step, until the end." The hare laughed so loudly the field grew quiet around him. "Endures, please. The world belongs to those who seize it before anyone else can blink. But if you wish to test your faith against my speed," he said slyly, "then let us race, and when I win, perhaps you'll see just how foolish you truly are." Have you ever felt behind in life? Mocked for your pace as though others were rushing ahead while you were left crawling in the dust? Wondering if you were moving too slowly, if life is truly passing you by? Part 2. The fox, impartial and wise, overheard this exchange and marked the path. The meadow gathered, creatures of every kind, far and wide, leaning in to see arrogance tested against patience. At the signal, the hare exploded forward, legs like fire, heart like thunder. He surged across the earth, leaving gasps behind him. Certain of victory, he looked back over his shoulder and laughed. "Don't you see? You'll never catch me. Life does not wait for the slow." But the tortoise, far behind, called out with a calm certainty, "Life waits for no one. That's why I do not stop." And she kept moving. Step, breath, step, breath. Her path was not a spectacle, but a prayer. She walked not for applause, not for triumph, but because forward was the only direction she knew. When life tells you that you must hurry, do you believe it? Or do you trust that every step, no matter how small, carries you closer to where you're truly meant to be. Sometimes our pace doesn't show our failure. Sometimes it shows our faithfulness. Part 3. The hare, meanwhile, ran so far ahead that silence itself felt like victory. He decided to stop for a while under the shade of a tree. Soon, he stretched his body across the grass and yawned. She will take hours, perhaps days. I have time. I always have time. And with a smug smile, he fell asleep. The tortoise pressed on, quiet, steady, but certain. When she spotted the hare, she didn't say a word. Like the saying goes, when others sleep on you, do not disturb their rest. She passed him without malice, without mockery. She passed smoothly because her rhythm never broke. And as she drew near the finish line, she whispered, not for him, but for herself. The finish does not care who dazzles, only who arrives. Have you found your rhythm? What beliefs, what practices carry you forward even when no one else is watching? Part 4. When at last the hare awoke, he lifted his head and saw the tortoise in the distance, closer to the end than he had ever imagined. Panic surged. He leapt to his feet and hurled himself across the meadow, running faster than he'd ever run before. His legs burned, his chest tore open with breath, and his heart thundered louder than drums. But it was too late. He watched in desperate disbelief as the tortoise crossed the finish line. The hare quickly dashed into the meadow, too ashamed to face the waiting crowd. She did it. The tortoise had crossed, not in a blaze of glory, not with noise, but with quiet certainty. She won. The meadow was silent. Then the whispers rose like wind through the trees. Speed dazzles, but steadiness endures. Arrogance may leap, but faithfulness fully arrives. Life is not a sprint. It is a journey of endurance. The race is not given to the swift, but to the one who sees it through. Hear this, beloved. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are powerfully on your path, and your pace is enough. The world will always seem to celebrate the fast, the flashy, the ones who appear to arrive overnight. But speed is not the measure of a life well lived. Endurance is. Faith is. The willingness to keep going even when no one else is watching, even when the road feels endless, even when others have already sprinted ahead. Your steps may feel small, but they are steady, and it's steady steps that create legacies. Remember, the race is not given to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, but to the one who endures. And if you will not stop, if you will keep moving forward, no matter how slowly, then you too, my friend, will arrive. Thank you for reading with me, the Velveteen Reader. If you'd like more nights like this, subscribe and join me again. Until then, read deep, rest well, and sweet dreams.